Hello everyone, my name is Gabby and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super review. This time we're reviewing episode 32. Goku and Vegeta spend the last 3 days in the new Room of Spirit and Time training. Then it's time for the tournament. Literally everyone in the cast barring Gohan comes to spectate and we get to meet Monaka. He doesn't look very threatening at all. Then they arrive at the nameless planet. The Universe 6 contestants include a bear-looking alien, a robot-looking alien, an alien with a coat, an alien who looks just like Frieza, and another Saiyan? He says his name is Kaba, and in his universe the Saiyans are actually nice guys. The participants start their simple paper test and Buu falls asleep partway through, and they can't wake him up, meaning Universe 7 only has 4 participants available to fight. The order is decided, and the first fight begins between Goku and Botamo, the bear-looking alien. So, what did I like about this episode? First of all, beards. Beards. So when Goku and Vegeta come out of the Room of Spirit and Time, pretty much just to communicate that they've been in there for a very long time, they have apparently grown facial hair. Technically, if you look about those lines that they talk about in the Cell Saga about Saiyan's hair never really growing past like the original shape, maybe they shouldn't be able to grow facial hair. I don't know. Whatever. I mean, Vegeta had a mustache in GT, and that was Toriyama's original design. This is one of those things everyone should just stop worrying about the nitty-gritty of this and just accept it for what it is, and that is a gag. And it was a gag that really worked, just judging by the way social media reacted over it. I also really like the design for Monaka. I mean, it's simple. It's almost deceptively simple. And honestly, I think that seems to be Monaka's entire character so far. Just deceptively simple. I mean, he's apparently even strong, like the strongest opponent Beerus has ever fought, presumably stronger than Goku and Vegeta, but he doesn't seem to act like in any sort of way. There is nothing that really indicates that Monaka is so strong in the first place, which makes you think that he's hiding something, and it honestly makes him seem kind of ominous. Like, especially the way he's introduced. He's just sort of walking there with Beerus. He doesn't really make much of an impact, and everyone always just sort of passes over him. It's a very interesting way to introduce this character who is apparently very strong. With a character like this, you'd expect him to be introduced in some sort of big, climactic, like, eventful way. Like, maybe have him do some sort of thing that, like, maybe Goku tries to, like, spar with him, and then he just, like, deflects all of his blows effortlessly. Like, some really dramatic way to show that this guy is strong, but that doesn't happen. When Goku tries to hit him in the face to see if he'll dodge, he doesn't dodge, and it actually seems to hurt him pretty badly. So it's just, like, it is really sort of subverting everyone's expectations, and now I am just really interested in Monaka right now. He's just really interesting. I don't know what he's like, and I really want to know more. And then, when we get introduced to the Universe 6 contestants, especially because of, like, the dialogue between Goku, Vegeta, and Kaba, it's sort of perpetuating this idea that I don't know if this is, like, actually supposed to be, or this is just sort of my theorizing, but the way they seem to be doing this, it almost seems to feel like Universe 7, the one that we know, that's the evil universe with all the evil counterparts of everyone. And Universe 6 is the good place with all of the heroes and everything. In Universe 6, the Frieza equivalent doesn't seem like he's evil, the Saiyans are all good guys, and honestly, even Champa seems a lot less evil than Beerus is. While Beerus is sometimes a bit malicious and seems to just destroy planets for fun, Champa seems a lot more goofy and a lot more fun and a lot more just sort of like he cares more about his ego and not necessarily about destroying things. I don't know if this is intentional or not, but if it's intentional, I really like this idea. It's basically the complete opposite of what I was talking about when I said I didn't want to see an evil Goku. This is not saying it's not like we're saying we're going to have an evil Goku, we're getting like a good Goku. You might say that that's equally as lazy, but I honestly don't agree. You see, the problem with an evil counterpart is it's mostly just sort of there to highlight the hero's virtues, whereas a good counterpart is there to highlight the hero's flaws. And I'd say having to show the hero's flaws, for me, is a lot more interesting than just showing how cool and amazing the heroes are. As for what I didn't like about this episode, first of all, there's just the whole stuff with Majin Buu being asleep and just not being in the tournament. This is a massive bait and switch. And I'm not exactly sure why. The only thing I can think of is they just did that because they needed to start off with a 5 versus 5, but they wanted to start this tournament off by giving the Universe 7 participants a disadvantage, making it only 4 versus 5. Like, actually that's kind of cool, and it gives it a lot more tension and makes it feel like, you know, the Universe 7 guys have to work a lot harder to win. But on the other hand, Majin Buu was on the poster. He's still on some of the covers for like the newest V-Jump issue, he's on the cover for that. It's still kind of misleading. Everyone seemed to think that Majin Buu was going to participate, and even I was kind of excited to see Majin Buu participate, and knowing that he's not actually seemingly not going to do anything is kind of a disappointment. And then there's the fact that the fights have basically started. The first match is like already ready to go, and we don't really know that much about the other Universe 6 participants. I'm not saying we need to know about everyone, like characters like his I feel like are intentionally mysterious because then we can find out more about them later on, kind of like Monaka. But like the only character that we actually really got to talk to and see stuff of was Kaba. And Kaba is he's not the main villain, it seems like. He's not the main antagonist in the Universe 6 team. He's just like a random guy. Like, we don't know anything about Botamo, we don't know anything about Frost, we don't know anything about Magata. But, I mean, it just depends as to whether these characters are going to be explored, like, during their battles. And it's also going to depend on whether these characters are actually going to stick around for, like, the show, because they might not, and in that case, developing them would seem kind of pointless. As for next episode, the first fight of the Universe 6 tournament begins. Goku versus Brutamo. If you've read the manga, you pretty much know how this entire fight goes, but it does sound cool, and I'm honestly really interested. I'm really excited to see this animated. And another thing about this episode is we are seemingly going to get Super Saiyan Goku for some reason. No, not the blue hair, the gold hair. Why that is happening is really confusing everyone, and is also kind of confusing me as well. I hope they give a legitimate reason, otherwise this is really going to feel like actually a merchandise ploy, just to sell more toys. So that was Dragon Ball Super episode 32. And once again, it was really enjoyable. We had a lot of nice character interactions, we had a lot of good character introductions, we had a great way of just introducing this tournament and the tournament setup, and all of the new characters and all the stuff that's going to happen for all the new episodes to come. But now that the slice of life is kind of over, we're going to get to the actual fights of the tournament. And I'm excited for this, but it's also kind of concerning me. One of the reasons the slice of life episodes seem to always hit their mark is that they don't really require as much crazy animation as these fights will. And the fights will probably require a lot of animation, and will probably require a lot more time and effort put into them to actually make them look acceptable. And considering that we got the Goku and Golden Frieza fight was not that good, so I'm just wondering whether they can show us that Toei can do good fight scenes again, because otherwise, if we just get lots and lots of mediocre fight scenes, then this tournament might not be good. And that would be sad because I want it to be good. So let us hope and pray that Toei's crazy, tight, strict scheduling for Super has been somewhat alleviated, and that the animation teams are going to actually get enough time to work on these episodes so that they look good. Because let's put it this way, if a fight scene is rushed, we will be able to tell. We will all be able to tell, and it will make these fights look awful. And that will just detract from the quality of this entire new arc. So this is Gabby, signing out, and I'll see you all next week. Bye guys!